Hello, everyone. The time has officially come. Welcome to the Real Talk with Munashe podcast.
Real Talk with Munashe.
Let's get real. Hello, you guys. Welcome to Real Talk with Munashe, the podcast. This has been such a long time coming. I'm so excited to officially be doing this, and I figured what better way to start off my year than to do the thing I told myself I was going to do in 2023. Okay. For those that know or may not know, this is something I was going back and forth in my head about all 2023, and I decided that in 2024, no excuses, new year, all of that jazz. I was like, I've gotta just start it. Okay, I just gotta start it, and I don't have everything figured out or anything, but that's the thing about life, right? You figure it out along the way. So welcome. If you're listening, hello. My name is Munashe. This is the Real Talk with Munashe podcast. And I'm really excited that you're here listening. We're going to have fun over here. This isn't the podcast. I just want to preface by saying this is not the podcast that's going to cure cancer. Okay, like I don't have the answer to world hunger. I just want to vent and tell a good story and cry and laugh and do whatever I want to do, okay? But I promise you, whatever I do, I'll always keep it real. Like that's the promise, the guarantee. But it's just a space that I've carved for myself, because the truth of the matter is I kept telling people, give me a mic, I have things to say. Nobody would give me a mic, so I bought myself one. And I decided I'd give myself the mic. I'd give myself the space to say whatever I want to say. And so here we are. And in this day and age where you can literally Amazon Prime anything, I Amazon Prime myself a microphone, and the Real Talk with Munashe podcast was birthed. So I'm really excited to be doing this, and I don't know, it just feels right. Like, it just feels right. Happy New Year. I am recording this right now on the 1st of the year. I don't know when I'm posting it, but it's officially 2024. So happy New Year, and I hope that, well, if you're listening, you made it to 2024, so congratulations. And I wish you an amazing start to your new year. So I figured that for my first podcast episode, being the fact that it's a new year, I'm recording this on January 1st, 2024, what better way to start the podcast than to start with New Year's resolutions? Everyone always has New Year's resolutions. Well, some people don't. Some people don't believe in them, like whatever. I do. I like New Year's resolutions. I like a fresh start. Some of the things roll over from year to year, right? But sometimes you need a refresh just to get your mind right, and just be like, okay, like I kind of slacked off here in 2023. I forgot I wanted to do this, whatever. New year, new me. On TikTok, there have been, I don't know what it's really called, but people have been writing their ins and outs for the year. So things that they're bringing into the new year and things that they're leaving, they're kicking out. It's very last year for them. And I figured, why don't we do that? And I wrote a list of things that I feel like as a community, we could all do. So the ins and outs for all of us in 2024. Okay? So I have a little list here. We are going to be out with the ignorance and stupidity, okay? That was in 2023. And we're going to bring in some common sense. How about we try some common sense in 2024? Now, I know common sense isn't common, but I want us all to try. I would have to think or assume, okay, that if you listen to my podcast, you have some common sense. So I'm not really directing this at you. But like, just as a whole, like, sometimes I hear people say things like on social media or whatever, and I'm just like, wow, where did that come from? That's quite ignorant. Like, I don't know. And I know ignorance is such a like harsh word to use, but what word would you use when people aren't making any type of sense? Okay, thank you. With 2024 being an election year, I can already foresee like just the back and forth and like the ignorance and the like I can already see it. And I just, in this year, like I want us to agree to disagree with like just agree to disagree in a nice, respectable way. Not be so ignorant, like maybe do some research, like not say something if we really don't know what we're saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like we could really benefit from that as a whole in 2024 and forever, really. And I feel like that'd be a great way to start off the year. So out with the ignorance and in with the common sense. My second one, out with the meanness and the rudeness and in with kindness. Being mean really is not the flex that some of you guys think it is. Kindness always wins. And I know that's just always said, but have you ever seen someone just like be mean to someone and you're like, wow, like, is everything okay at home? Like, being mean is like not, I don't know why you would ever choose to be mean when you can be kind. And if you can't be kind, just be silent. I'm silent all the time. I don't always have something nice to say, okay? I'm not going to lie to you and say that I do, but I definitely am not out here just being mean to people. Like, I would rather be quiet than be mean, and I think that's something that we should all do. Like, why are people bullying each other on social media? You know how many things I see on that people say on social media where I'm like, that's interesting, and I just say nothing and I keep it scrolling. Like, it's free. Like, don't be mean. Like, I'm not saying I would condone meanness, but maybe I would get it if there was something you got out of it of being mean, but you really don't get anything out of being mean at all. But like out of being kind or being silent, were you silent or were you silenced? Some of you need to be silenced for real. I just think we could all benefit from a bit of kindness, okay? Keep that in mind for 2024. The next thing, yelling is out, sighing is in, okay? Now, walk with me here. Have you ever had to yell? Now, there's different types of yelling. I'm talking about the like yelling out of frustration. That is out. Because a sigh is going to do it every time. A sigh does what yelling can't do. Because when you're yelling out of frustration or whatever, and you're just so upset that you start yelling, like, you lose people. But have you ever sighed? Like, given a good sigh to someone when they just said the most ridiculous thing to you in the world and they're expecting you to freak out and you sigh? That's a power move, honestly, and you don't even realize it is. Let me give you a scenario. Someone just said something really, really insulting to you, whatever that may be. And instead of like getting on the defense and going at them, you sigh like this. Huh. That's not really a sigh. I guess like a But you follow the sigh with something because they're expecting this huge outrage and you just gave them a sigh, which I feel like in that moment makes them feel kind of like dumb because they didn't get the reaction they wanted out of you. So you just sighed and then you say something like, wow, I guess you would think that. What even is the response to that? I don't know if it's going to really make sense to y'all the way it makes sense in my head, but I'm just saying you can get a lot farther along with a sigh. Now, if you give a good sigh and it doesn't work, then you yell. So maybe I take back everything I said. Maybe yelling is not out like all the way. I'm just saying give the sigh first. Like, try to give the sigh. Don't go to 100 first thing. Sigh, bring it back, because it also causes everyone to kind of just take a step back and be like, whoa, maybe I took it too far. Sigh, respond, and if the sigh doesn't work, maybe yell. I don't know. We'll see. Let me know if that stays in this year. Who knows? And then my next thing that is out in 2024 is constant complaining. We've got to solve the problem in 2024. I'm for complaining, but it can't be constant because let's be real. Like, it's the beginning of the year right now. We all feel like the world's our oyster, but like, let a couple months get under your belt and then it's going to be like, okay, like, I hate X, Y, and Z, like, whatever. But like in 2024, I think we all as a collective need to do a better job of like solving the problem, trying our best to solve the thing that is actually that we're complaining about nonstop, or just finding some peace about it and moving on. We can't be constantly complaining and complaining. It just breeds a whole bunch of like oh my gosh, like, it's just not it, okay? Take my word for it. It's not it. We can do better. We're not constantly complaining. We're solving the problem. You can complain, like, obviously complain, vent out your frustrations, but then we solve it. And you can clock me too. You can be like, listen, Munashe, you complained about this a lot. Like, you said that we're not doing that in 2024. And I'll be like, oop, you're right. You know what's in? Picking a struggle. And I say this all the time. Pick a struggle. Because what's going to happen as the year progresses is that a lot of things are going to happen. There's going to be a lot of just life bumps in the road, I guess. And you've got to figure out what is the most pressing thing and pick that. And I say this to my friends all the time when they're complaining about like a million different things. I'm like, pick a struggle. Because it reminds you that, like, oh, okay, this is a lot. And I got to pick the thing that's pressing me the most and deal with that. And then once that's dealt with, okay, we can move on to the other things. That is the goal for us in 2024. Complaining is out. We're going to solve the problem. Constant complaining is out in 2024. But what's in is picking a struggle. And if someone says to you, pick a struggle, you know what that means. And you'll be like, you know what? Pause, reflection. You're so right. I'm going to pick this one, period. I feel like in the same way, we talk about the things that are out and the things that are in this year. We've got to give a round of applause to the things that worked in 2023. I've got some things that worked pretty well, and I feel like we should all bring them into 2024. And I'm going to share with you what those things are because they were effective then and they'll be effective now. So here are the things that are going to stay, that I think should stay for all of us. Sarcasm. If done well, sarcasm is one of the best things that's been given to us on this earth. Notice how I said if done well. If you can't do it well, I can't help you. But if it's done well, sarcasm is a gift. And I feel like that should be used in 2024. I used it in 2023. I'm bringing it over. And you should too, honestly. If you can do it well, it's not hurting anybody. It's kind of helpful. I don't know. For me, anyway. The next thing is laughter. Like I said, I'm going to laugh. You should too. We live in a crazy time. It's a crazy world. There's things happening every single day. I got to keep my laughter. If I don't laugh, I will cry. I'm going to choose to laugh every time. I think as a collective, we should do that. Sometimes laughter is literally... Sometimes laughter is all you need. You're having a bad day and you laugh. I don't know. It doesn't solve necessarily the bad day, but it helps. And some of you guys don't laugh enough, and you need to laugh. Laugh more in 2024. My next thing, the thing that's coming with me in 2024 that I had in 2023 is an eye roll. Now, an eye roll is coming with me into this year because an eye roll, if this even makes sense to you, is what keeps me from being mean. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I roll my eyes so that I can be a nice person. And I'm not rolling my eyes in front of the person. Sometimes I am. But, like, a lot of times I'm not. A lot of times I close my eyes and I'll just, like, roll my eyes. But it gives me that moment to, like, collect myself and then do the nice thing or just be a respectable person in society. So an eye roll will be following me. And it's okay with me if it follows you into 2024. Like, an eye roll, again, time and place. I'm not telling you to go into the workplace and roll your eyes. I'm just saying, like, if done right. A lot of the things I said, sarcasm, laughter, like, these are if done well, but, like, I mean, don't be dumb. I don't know. Like, do it well. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you're listening to me, you get it. It's like, I'm not telling you to go start laughing at a funeral. I'm not telling you to, like, these are just things in life that help when the going gets tough. Sarcasm, laughter, and an eye roll. I think those things worked well for me in 2023. I will keep them in 2024. I encourage you to do the same if you're capable. And they're just little aids and little tools that keep life going, you know? Keep me getting up in the morning. You get it. And last but not least, the one thing that is going with us into 2024 and beyond is Real Talk with Munashe. Real Talk with Munashe is going with us all the way. Thank you guys so much for listening to my first podcast episode. I wish you guys a happy new year. Seriously, every time we step into a new year, I'm always so grateful because life really isn't promised. So my advice to you is if you have things that you've wanted to do, like start a podcast or whatever your dreams or goals are, do your best to work towards them. Tomorrow really isn't promised, and you have one life. You have one life. You should do the things that make you happy as long as they're not harming anyone and it's something new to try. Why not? The worst that happens is you don't like it and you don't do it anymore. The best thing that happens is that it changes your life for the better. And so I wish you guys all the happiness in 2024. I hope you really shoot for the stars, and I'm really excited for this. We're going to be good friends. We're going to hang out a lot, and I hope you guys will stick around for the journey, and we're going to have fun over here. So I think that is it for my very, very first podcast episode. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.